Europeans have always stolen everything. They've stolen land, of course, but that was just the opening act. Europeans have stolen everything: material, labor, lifeways, language, even the ability to imagine a future outside of their theft. They stole Turtle Island with treaties they never honored, stole Africa with borders they never lived in, stole Australia by calling it empty, stole Palestine by funding a settler state, and each time they renamed the theft as discovery. They didn't just take territory. They fabricated sovereignty out of violence. They built nations on unmarked graves, then built museums to frame it as progress. Chattel slavery wasn't just forced work. It was the systemic extraction of time, body, memory, and reproductive life. The transatlantic slave trade turned people into credit, generations into capital, and when formal slavery ended, they simply renamed it: indenture, plantation debt, prison labor, minimum wage. They don't pay, they extract. Every developed European economy sits atop the plunder of others. Belgium's wealth equals Congo's mutilated children. Britain's empire equals Bengal's famines, India's looted GDP. France's monuments equal Haitian reparation payments. Spain's gold equals indigenous blood across Abya Yala. They didn't build wealth, they looted it. Then they called it industrialization. They took African deities and renamed them demons, took Arab numbers and called them Western math, took Eastern philosophy and sold it as mindfulness, took black music and charted it with white faces. They turned Yoruba into voodoo, turned indigenous prophecy into apocalypse fiction, took the drum, the braid, the spice, the chant, then banned it, then sold it back through Apple commercials and Coachella fashion lines. Europeans don't create, they curate what they've already stolen. Residential schools, forced adoptions, sterilization clinics, boarding schools, welfare raids. They stole native children, African children, Maori children, Aboriginal children, then documented it in church archives, not courts. And when colonized women resisted, they sterilized them, without consent, without anesthesia, sometimes as policy, sometimes as casual genocide. European time is not neutral, it's stolen. They imposed clocks over cycles, calendars over ceremonies, and 40-hour work weeks over subsistence and kinship. They stole the future by criminalizing rest. They stole the past by rewriting every archive. They even stole the present by flooding the world with distractions while the planet burns. Their time is linear, extractive, and detached from responsibility. It is the schedule of empire. They stole artifacts. They stole bodies. They stole the very dead. Museums across Europe house over 1.5 million stolen cultural artifacts and refuses to return them. British, German, and French museums hold African skulls like trophies, Papuan ancestral bones like anthropology props, indigenous ceremonial pieces as curiosities, while demanding proof of ownership from those they stole from, because Europeans believe possession is 9/10 of humanity. They co-opt freedom. They steal justice. They quote MLK while funding occupation. They chant rights while arming repression. They stole abolition from the enslaved, stole feminism from indigenous matriarchs, stole queer liberation from trans black organizers, then whitewashed every movement they didn't create but couldn't stop. Europeans even steal oppression vocab to dodge accountability. They clear-cut the forests, poisoned the rivers, overfished the oceans, ignited climate collapse. Now they build rockets to Mars, domes on lunar dust, terraforming projects funded by billionaires who couldn't even clean a city block. They stole the earth, and now they want to steal distance from the wreckage. This is not a series of accidents. This is the core of European identity. Theft as cosmology, extraction as culture, ownership as theology. Europeans have always stolen everything. because they cannot exist without convincing the world that what is theirs was always up for grabs. They didn't just take gold. They took meaning. They took time. They took worlds. And they call that history. Cope.